Understand? Technology is totally different. Technology is designed after doing vast research and development. That is totally different. Customized personal instruction is totally different. All the instructions dies, loses its value along with the person to whom it is given. If somebody goes to Ramakrishna, he might have told him, hey, you should become a Swami, you are a sannyasi. But that instruction is only for him. Just because that person became a Swami and experienced joy and bliss in his life, naturally when he experiences joy and bliss in his life, he will make a big reminiscence book. When you try to read the state of ecstasy which he lived, joy in which he lived, or the blessing with which he lived, naturally you become greedy of that state. When you become greedy of the disciple state, what do? You tend to practice or follow the same instruction which was given to him. That is where you miss. That is where we all miss. When we all try to grab some instruction given to some disciple and expect through that instruction we will also achieve the same state of the disciple, we do a big mistake. Here, first time, Shiva is creating a technology. It is not just a personal advice, understand? Even though these words are spoken to Devi, Devi doesn't need any of these instructions. She has already become enlightened. So she doesn't need all these meditations. Keeping Devi in front, Shiva speaks to the whole world. If you have decided just by the instruction given to, personal instruction given to one disciple, your decision will go wrong because it is only for that person. I have seen thousands of people who take up this celibate life because some master has instructed some of his disciple, because that disciple experienced bliss through that path. People come and ask me, Swamiji, should I become a Swami? The young guys, they come and ask me again and again, Swamiji, can I become Swami? Should I become Swami? I laugh at them, I tell them, don't become Swami just because I have become a Swami. Don't become a sannyasi just because Vivekananda has become a sannyasi. They ask me immediately, then why? You yourself became a Swami, then why you are asking us not to become? I tell them, I have never become a Swami because Vivekananda became. I never took this sannyas life just because Vivekananda took. No. I felt the inspiration. I felt I have solved my life. I felt I will be blissful. So I became. Never bother. Never try to do something because somebody else has done it. When you try to do just because somebody else has done it, naturally you end up in a worse problem. You do not know what is there waiting for you. You do not know what will be the next step after some few steps. Here, Shiva is trying to create a technology. Actually, I never answered this question. I have never given a standard answer to this question, whether somebody should get married or he should become a Swami. People ask me many times again and again. I have never given a standard answer, because before giving the answer, I should have complete technology for them to practice. If I say get married, I must be able to give them the technology of how to be in tune and how to be blissful in the relationship. I must be able to give them all the tools to make the relationship blissful. And if I say become a Swami, a celibate, then I must be able to give them all the tools to make their life joyful, without suppressing, without perversions, without loneliness. Now I can give a solid answer, because here the technology is available. Here, Shiva gives the technology. Because this technology is available, the solid answer is possible. Whether we understand or not, believe it or not, accept it or not, in spiritual life, if enlightenment is your priority, spiritual experience is your priority, invariably the brahmacharya plays a major role. It plays a very major role. Unless a certain kind of energy is developed in your system, you cannot take a quantum jump beyond the body. The energetic body only can take a quantum jump. Only that can bear the highest peak experience of enlightenment or the consciousness. For nerves to be strong, mind to be subtle, and your being to be sensitive to consciousness, to higher life, the basic need is brahmacharya. I have never spoken about this subject very strongly. Always I thought prescribing brahmacharya to modern men, to the modern society, creates lot of side effects and problems. Suppression, perversion, mental disturbances, depression, loneliness, so many problems. I always thought unless I am able to give them the technology through which they will be able to achieve the great joy and ecstasy of brahmacharya without the side effects and problems, unless I am able to give the technology, I should not speak. That's the reason I never spoke about this. Patanjali, the great master, puts brahmacharya as the basic requirement for yoga. Basic requirement for yoga. In the West, the so-called yoga teachers have spoiled the whole great tradition of yoga. These guys have abused yoga reduced it just as a physical exercise. The depth or the great truth behind the yoga is lost by the superficial Western yogic teachers. They do not know the depth. They do not know the roots. Most of them do not even know the meaning of the word yoga. They think it is just few body postures. No. Patanjali, the master of yoga, the father of yoga system, he defines the word yoga. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. Yoga is cessation of mind. Yoga is going beyond mind. As the first step, he puts 5 important regulations: ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha and brahmacharya. Ahimsa means non-violence. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Aparigraha, living with minimum things. And brahmacharya, celibacy. Of course, the word brahmacharya is something more than celibacy. It is not just celibacy, it's like the meaning of the word is living like a god. It means living with reality, not living with fantasies. Not living with fantasies and imaginations. It's a big subject. Only for sincere seekers. This is only for sincere seekers who are very serious about working on themselves. Again and again, Ramakrishna insists, unless you awaken your Kundalini Shakti, you cannot have the spiritual experience. And to awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the basic condition is brahmacharya. People who usually listen to my lecture, to my discourses, they will be shocked when they hear these words from me, because I neither spoke on this subject nor insisted. I always insist on mental purity, means living without fantasies, living without imaginations is more than enough. I never spoke on the brahmacharya. Even to my close disciples, when they ask, I just try to brush it aside. Because if I give the instruction, I should give the technology. Here Shiva is giving the technology. So now I can say very clearly, now start practicing. Start practicing. Here Shiva is not only giving technology, he is giving us all the solutions for the problems which you may face in course of your journey. This sutra has to be understood in 4 levels. It's a very powerful technique. Step by step, he speaks, he is explaining the 4 levels. Every page of Ramakrishna's gospel, you will see he talking. He is using the word Kamini Kanjana Tyag, means renouncing gold and women. He goes on talking. Almost all the great masters from Shankara, Buddha, Mahavir, Vivekananda, Ramakrishna, almost all the great masters, they go on talking about purity, celibacy, and there is another one big group, another one group which says it is impossible, it is hypocrisy. There is a big difference, or I can say big gap between these two groups. One group which says celibacy is basic need for spiritual growth. The other group which says celibacy is pure hypocrisy, impossible. It is not only hypocrisy, it is not possible, not necessary. This goes on and on and on. I can say one thing, people who never worked on the celibacy, never tried something in that line, they really miss something seriously in their life. I have seen people who live, believe expression are more prone to depression, more prone to problems than the people who believe in suppression. Both the way you will have problems. Suppression also will be constantly creating you the problems, different problems, perversion, so many problems. Same way, the expression also will be creating many problems. Just going around, no strong personality or no strong morality, no strong character. Very weak, can be moved just by a single thought. No base. Both the way you will be constantly suffering. Understand, the people who suppress, they have the same problem. And the same way, people who express, means just going around, nothing more than animals. I can't even compare with animals because animals have got a discipline. Animals relate, animals will have physical relationship only in particular season. Man is the only animal who doesn't have any season, who doesn't have any regulation, who doesn't have any discipline, who doesn't have any base, who doesn't have any clarity about his own body. He is ready to abuse his body to any extent. He is ready to use his body to any extent for whatever he thinks as pleasure or joy. Both the way, whether you are suppressing or expressing, you have tremendous obstacles or problems to face in your life. Here, Shiva is solving this problem in a very beautiful way. I can say this single technique can transform the whole human life.